how things are going. Thank you very much for coming. I'm so proud that we have been able to put this together, and I cannot promise that I will play with your phone, so I'm sorry about that. But I was looking the event from the control room. It was very, very funny. So thank you for all those that put the phone in the game. So I'm here today to talk about a little bit of what's going on in our perspective in terms of cognitive and digital transformation. And last year, we tried to explain a little bit about artificial intelligence and what are the things that are really, making the business different, making the business, more efficient. After these years of analyzing and understanding which are the things that really makes a company different and can, transform a company, we discovered that it's not all about, technology. And when you talk about artificial intelligence and when you talk about how to transform and to make a cognitive transformation within a company, we may think that, and we may argue that it's a technological problem. And it's a technological problem, but on top of that, it's about transforming a company. It's about a cultural transformation that needs to happen. So we may say that going through the digital transformation and going through a cognitive transformation has a huge component, and every day more, about cultural transformation rather than just technological transformation. Today, technology became like a big, I would say, like a big commodity that you can grab it from the cloud in some way. But then how a company needs to structure and how the company needs to change to become an AI-ready organization. And this is what I want to bring to you today, which has been our experiences in transforming organizations, in transforming our own organization, and which are the keys that maybe will help to go through that path of the cognitive transformation. So let me start by sharing, well, I'm supposed to have this thing here. Let me start by sharing a little bit of our experience in transforming, our own company. And a few years ago, we had like a pretty large challenge. We started to grow, and we were at that time like 4,000, Globers, and we had the problem of having at that time 600-700 projects at the same time, and the main question was how to allocate the best talent, how to put together teams, how to be able to deliver better solution to our customers. And, that was a massive problem for us, and we decided to take a difficult route, which was to start to gather data and start to putting together an artificial intelligence engine that was able to recognize those teams and was able to put together those teams and be able to help us with that, pod construction activity. So that was the first thing we did.
Hi. Allocating over 7,000 Globers into teams in more than 800 projects is no easy task. And to ensure they put the best teams together, Globant has fully embraced the power of artificial intelligence. Data is key. I work to understand each Glober's skills and their history in the company. I use this information to build new teams, given the specific challenges to solve and what the rest of the team looks like. I am the AI engine that makes Globant's staffing process smarter. I allow Globant to make decisions knowing all the candidates and how soon they will each be available. I help Globers find the perfect project to continue developing their career path. Welcome to successful projects. Welcome to strong teams. Welcome to Fulfilling Careers. Welcome to a smarter Globant. I am Albertha.
Okay, so that was like the first trial with artificial intelligence on how to match teams. Pretty difficult task. And it was pretty successful. We tried to extend it. We extended it through the whole organization. And I think it was like a breakthrough in our ability to be able to manage our teams. But we didn't stop there. Some years before that, we started with what Gilbert described this morning, talking about, Start Me Up. And we started to understand who were the real players, the players that were making the real difference in Globant. But we didn't rely on a command and control data, but we rely on crowdsourcing information from every single person in the organization to be able to understand who are the players. As Gilbert described this morning, now we're able to see who are the guys that are about to leave the company, who are the guys that are staying in the company, connecting with the engagement that they have with the Start Me Up platform. And this is quite remarkable. Another application of artificial intelligence and data gathering, within the culture of the company to be able to understand the things that are invisible in the organization. That was the second thing that we started. But we kept asking about which are the real things that would transform our business into the next generation business. And when you analyze Globant a little bit deeper, you will find that there are two big main activities that we do. The first one is to recruit people and to recruit the best possible talent. And when I say talent, I'm talking about raw talent. I'm not talking about skills. I'm talking about who are those that has the right attitude to be a Glober. And the second thing is how we code, how we become more efficient on producing high-quality code for our customers. So we started a pretty ambitious project that now is called the Globant Talent Detector, in which we created a kind of profiler, like a questionnaire. And that questionnaire would fit a machine learning solution in which each of the persons and Globers that answer the questions, the 28 questions, 25 questions we have on that questionnaire, has a performance assessment within the company. That performance assessment is made out of Better Me, which is our tool to get feedback, is made out of Start Me Up, and make of the traditional performance assessments that we used to do at the end of the year. Now we have replaced them with Better Me. And then we said, okay, these are our best Globers, and these are the answers that we get from our best Globers. So how close a new candidate may be to those Globers that are best performers? And the machine needs to answer that. This is how it looks. Oh, sorry. So this is how it looks. So basically, you get into the Globant Talent Detection. You start, well, I don't know how to start this video, but believe me, it's a questionnaire, right? And, and then all the data points get into a multidimensional matrix. And then I can say, given two dimensions, one is how well they will fit to the cultural aspects of our company, and on the other dimension is how, if they're gonna exceed or not the expectations that you have with that, how that candidate that we don't know fit within our universe of performers. How close is that candidate to that universe of performers? So with this, we are changing something much bigger in the company, which is how we recruit, how we understand who are the best players or potential best players in the organization. And it's not an absolute measure. It's just a comparison between what we are in front of and our best Globers. How similar they are to those best performers. And we do that just making general matter questions. we don't do that asking technical questions. It's just open questions that profiles you in some way. And those questions will evolve. Right now, we're doing just with like fixed answers. In the future, we'll have like semantic answers with full text inside this tool. So this is changing how Globant will recruit towards the future. But we didn't stop there. We said, we want more. So now we are prototyping something totally different. Now we're prototyping a way to improve the way that Globant generates code. And this is what we are doing. As you may heard, there are some AI tools that are open to understand the code, to understand text. In general, you present a text, and then the tool will give you a summary of that text, or will give you some keywords of what that text is talking about. Well, in the same way that natural processing language engine and machine learning tool is being able to learn what the text is about. I mean, you need to train it, but then once it knows, it can infer what the text is about. We will do it with snippets of code. So each snippet of code means something for a programmer, and the idea is that we will understand the intention of what the programmer is doing, and we will suggest, like it is here, I need to code a post method for my REST API, and this is the recommended code that you can use, which, by the way, is a code that has been evaluated and analyzed by our own people in a crowdsourced manner. So we will transform the way in which we code, understanding the snippets of code that people are generating in real time. This is like a much deeper intention in how to transform a business. And why I'm describing like different scenarios is because AI and this idea around AI needs to go as deep as we can in our organizations. And we need to be ambitious with the ideas behind it. It's not just to solve a very easy process that before were being done by a couple of teams, but it's to transform in deep your business. In the same way, I could talk about a very simple application of AI, going from a very deep one to a very simple application of AI, like showing up at a meeting room, the thing recognizing, the application recognizing your face and saying, hey, introduce yourself, and just the next time we'll know you. Do you need this meeting room for how much, for how long, whatever. And, but this is a very simple application, and I want to make a contrast. AI can be used to very simple applications, or can be used to disrupt a business model. But for those things to happen, I would say for the most important things to happen, there are certain things that need to happen within the organization. And I started by these examples because I wanted to tell you how we came to this situation in which Globant is being able to start thinking about transforming the business in which we are by the use of artificial intelligence. And this has been the process that we use. The first paradigm is that AI is not an IT property. So basically, this is very wide. I mean, at Globant, we have a special team that do these things. But at one point in the history of our organization, I stood up in front of all the Globers, and I said, hey, guys, we have what we call the AI mission. And I need 100% of you, 100% of our Globers, starting by the most important engineers to the least important members that just joined our team, to understand the rudimentaries and concepts of AI. Why? For two reasons. Because I need you to explain it to our customers and be able to understand how they can use it better. And second, because I need you to transform our business. Because if we don't do it, someone else will do it for us. So you cannot, basically, the message is you cannot push the idea of AI into a small group in the company and hope for that to happen. You need to involve as much people that understands the concept that machine learning and artificial intelligence is like people learning. It's like people that can be trained in certain areas of knowledge for then be able to deliver whatever you need to be delivered. So this is the first concept that we use. The second one is that, as I showed you before, it could be very simple projects, like the AI face recognition interface that for meeting rooms that I show you. Or it could be extremely deep projects like the understanding of the snippets of code. But in any case, you should not think about AI as a pharaonic project. Okay, let's change the whole business. No, let's go step by step with very small, discrete steps into the right direction that we need. And this is the way we have always seen it at Globant. And I think this is the way that each organization should take care of this matter. The other thing is, once you start thinking on these short steps, that is not just for those short steps. It's not just for the short term. But you need to embrace the concept that the AI and the cognitive transformation need to really transform your business. So it's for the long run of your business. Finally, there's a universe of things that happen, outside the organization in terms of AI. You may know, hundreds of solutions around AI coming from Microsoft, from Amazon, from Google, from Facebook, from pretty much all the big, incumbents that has platforms that solve this solution or this other solution, or algorithms that are better to process images, or algorithms that are better to process voice or process whatever. And I think that you don't need to be afraid of being agnostic. This landscape of universe of algorithms and universe of solutions that will keep happening and keep evolving is a very dramatic landscape. It is changing every day. Whatever algorithm is good to process something today is not that good tomorrow, and is bad in the next 3 weeks. So being agnostic is essential. And I think that here is where Globant can add a little bit of value. Is where we have this concept called Globant Minds. And with Globant Minds, we aim to abstract you from all that noise that is happening on the market. So my idea, and the idea that we have at Globant, is to route you through the right algorithm pretty much in real time. So you don't need to go and research the whole thing that is happening, because we are doing that for you. And that's the concept of being agnostic. The platforms will evolve, and you cannot cope with that evolution unless someone helps you and drives you to that. And our team is prepared for that. Our team is constantly gathering and understanding the whole set of algorithms that are playing out there. So this is what I think that is the recipe, to transform a company into a digital and cognitive, player. Now, there are some limits. And we have seen during the last, I would say, months, like places in which we want AI to enter, and places in which we don't want AI to play. And places in which AI may be harmful and dangerous, and places in which it's augmented. It can augment the performance of the people. It can augment the intelligence of people. So what we have seen is the first AI manifestos, meaning which are the things that we will do, which are the things that we won't do. In this aspect, I think that at Globant we are committed to, for example, augmented intelligence, meaning to cooperate with humans and be socially beneficial for the humanity. We're committed to a clean data idea, meaning that we are building an organization that is collecting data that is really clean. We're committed to transparent algorithms. We're committed to develop algorithms that can be traced back and understand what you're doing, and that create unfair and don't create unfair and biased conclusions. In this aspect, I think that companies like Google, Microsoft, IBM, that are posting out the first, like we did at Globant, posting out the first AI manifestos, we should start to talk together and start to create like a global AI manifesto. It's not enough for each company to have its own approach on how we need to use AI, but the proposal I'm throwing out to the audience today is about the idea of creating a global AI manifesto. Which are the things that we can understand, which are the things that we can cope with, that we want to work with, and which are the things that we won't support. The limit is very thin. The philosophical discussions and the implications of these limits are very thin. So I think it's worth the idea to start thinking about having a global AI manifesto. And I know it's going to be hard because there's a lot of conflict of interest behind it, but I think it's worth the time to start thinking on having something, 2 or 5, let's say 5 concepts of AI that we all share so we can run this technology through a safe pathway. So this is a little bit about the artificial intelligence culture and how we think we can evolve towards the future, how we think you need to transform your culture to become an AI-ready organization. Now let me talk a little bit about Globant. We are totally committed with this. And I believe that we are in front of the biggest single opportunity on the earth. And let me tell you why. First, because as Globant, 100% of the organizations, 100% of the companies, 100% of the governments, 100% of the institutions that are not governments nor companies really need a company like Globant to transform and to go through the digital and cognitive transformation. That's the opportunity. You may say, hey, Martin, can you measure that opportunity? And I would say, not really. It's so big. On the other hand, you have a company that is, I would say, like the Tesla of the professional services organizations. And why I'm using this specific case? Because when you see a Tesla from the outside, it's exactly like pretty much all the cars. Is that right? You don't see a big difference. But then when you enter into a Tesla, you start living like weird things. Like, for example, the batteries are on the floor. And then, nice, the software got updated overnight. And then next morning, I have a new operating system on my car. And then you start using all the interface that connects beautiful with you and the driving experience with the 4 motors that balance the power on each wheel. And you start thinking, wow, this is a totally different experience. It looks like a car, but on the inside is the reinvention of a car. And I think Globant is exactly that. Globant is a company that achieves scale, about 7,500 people. That is the reinvention of the professional services organization. So when we're faced a massive opportunity and we have the tools and we have the company, that is the reinvention of the professional service organizations. And why I'm saying that? Because of all the things that we do different. From our studios to the way we put together our agile pods, how we work, our culture, how you saw this morning Giver talking about how we take care of our culture, how we use technology to spread our culture, to maintain what is important for our customers. That's a total reinvention of how our organization is done. So I feel like against a huge opportunity, and with the right tool, with the right scale, we can aim to things that are much bigger. And we can aim to start thinking why we cannot transform the world doing what we do, doing what we love. How we can transform like the things we're doing for MTA here, or the things that we did for the Met Police in London, transforming the experience, the whole experience of how citizens connect to the Metropolitan Police in a city. How, like the many transformations we are doing for many of the customers here, how we can transform your business, how we can transform how you connect with. And that's something that we're passionate about. So I will close my remarks saying, thank you very much for coming. What wakes me up every morning is this passion to be able to, given the situation, given the opportunity, and given what we have built as a company, be able to transform the world doing what we love. And I invite you all to follow this dream and to be part of it on each position that you are connected to Globant. So thank you very much for coming, and thank you very much for enjoying this great presentation, not mine, the other presentation. Thank you very much.